Alright, we're gonna get the stream started, and I need to figure out a few other things I want to do. Alright, so... since I'm solo casting, I'm gonna enable TFAR. And now let's get the prediction up. Op 4 is attacking, green 4 is defending. Alright, we'll be a minute late on that, but that's a-okay. Alright. So this is round 2. I skipped round 1 because I had to eat food, but I will be covering rounds 2 and 3 for the remainder of the night. And hopefully... we'll see things go a little bit quicker because there are less players on the NA branch. Otherwise, we have a new multi, and I hope you all enjoy this operation. So, it is going to be Op 4 with 545 based AKs and a little bit of a creative kit here. We have the Iraqi Desert Camo, as it's known from RHS, with some basic helmets here, but that's going to blend in quite well with the desert. They've got 2 BTR 70s, and that is it. Otherwise, it is mostly infantry. But we see RPG 32s. We got some PSO marksman scopes. Vargran is commanding this round. Snow Owl is going to be... actually, excuse me, Night Owl is leading the X-Ray group here. Snow Owl is going to be the 2IC Grenadier. We've got Lolo and Drago. Actually, no, it's just going to be Lolo taking a suppressed weapon. And Drago is going to be the sniper, and for Sharpur, the sniper is going to be incredibly important here. We can hear these guys talking locally about the last round. Otherwise, Alpha is going to be led by Schnuffles, Zoni and Artisan also under him, Mito, Siny, Lurch, or is it Cine? Probably Cine. Cine, Lurch, Aussie Wookie, and Oddball, with Space Cowboy Carl fielding the second PKP gunners. We have a PKM and a PKP in this squad. Captain Dreek taking Bravo HQ, and we have Brennan, Cosmonaut Miller, Green Shade Fist, and Cool Breeze under Bravo 1. Bravo 2 has Warwick, Wiki, Poe, and Martin, all from, I believe, the 29th ID. Nuclear Moose, Naders, and Rafter taking Charlie, with Ryvek also being in Charlie as a small team. There are no more than 60 people on the server, so these are going to be like 35v25s. Probably not that high of a ratio, but it's going to be, you know, around the 30v30 mark, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, Green 4 appear to be a mix of insurgency loadouts here, so various headgear, shemags, helmets, and a nice green camo. And they appear to be making a human tower centipede, whatever. They have 2 static Dishkas, which are 50-round, 12.7 anti-material machine guns, big rounds. And they have an off-road M2, which has a 100-round magazine, 50 cal gun, which can penetrate those BTRs. Now, leading that group is going to be Patriot. And then you've got Pierce, Racket, and Bert taking X-Ray. I would assume Pierce is a sniper. Yep, he's got a 338 Lapua there. And he is part of 1RW, and 2 other members of 1RW are taking X-Ray. Alpha being led by Jib Style, Maz, Ghoster, G-Legs, Phoenix, Spiky, Gamma, Olaf, Bacon, and Chills. Basically, members of AA taking under Alpha. Bravo has Nielsen and T4 Herb, and as well as more members of the 29th ID, which I might have been wrong about these guys. No, these guys are not 29th ID. They're from a different group. My bad. They've got the real members of the 29th ID, including Norris, and then Not Bay and Dooley on Green 4 with Bald Eagle, Skipper, and Chow. So overall, low numbers-wise, it just makes those heavy hitter players all that more powerful. So on Op 4, I don't see anyone noteworthy in that regard. We do have some familiar names, though, like Vargrant, Night Owl, Martin, Wiki, Warwick, Nuclear Moose. I think they could all do quite well. We might see a new hero arise within Op 4, but on Green 4, we have some well-known names. We got Norris, we've got Not Bay, also known as T5 Bay, and Dooley. So I'll be curious to see what they do, but I mean, Op4 has about a full-page roster here. Green 4 has a little less. Op4 might as well have I think that's a 7 or 8 player number advantage there. So we'll just have to see how things play out. Green 4 having to defend 3 zones here is going to be a bit of a tough call because they have such a limited number of players. I think Green 4's best bet is to pick 1 zone and cover it. Now, what should that zone be? In my opinion, Green 4 should look at covering Sector 3. The reason for that is all around it is massive open area. And even though Sector 3 is this little shed area here, it's got great overwatch from a perimetered area on the side. It's got all these open areas that can be locked down. Green 4 can build some fortifications around it. And they can just capitalize on all this open area because it's going to be like a 25 to 35, more around a 27 v 34, 33. Because, again, about a 7-player number advantage. But those numbers are going to go into the BTRs. You want to just pick a zone, capitalize on that open area, and camp the heck out of it. So I would recommend they take Sector 3 because they can fortify it with Fortify tools and just lock that down. Now, Sector 1 would be my next pick, but this is a very open area, and the one issue that you're conceding is Op4 can get on this little hill build up here all around the sector, really, and then fire into it from range, and that gives their sniper a lot of room to work with, and you want to try to avoid that, especially with a lower numbered area here. And then, of course, Sector 2, which, you know, it's nice. It's got some custom-built fortifications on it, cool, but, I mean, the CQC style of things can run right up to it, so it can get very, very messy very quickly. But it looks like Green 4 is going to go for potentially all 3 with how they've divided their units. I don't necessarily agree with that because that means Op4 can just come in and steamroll them point after point, but we'll just have to see how well they do on that PvP aspect because that's what this is all about anyway. And there I am hydrated for you guys. So we got some wrecked vehicles up here. Got that little HQ area. I mean, it's Sharpur. It's a very small map. The last time this area was done, it was a 3-sector fight. It came down to this sector down here, but the defenders were able to hold it because Op4 just got caught in open areas and torn apart. So I'd love to see that recreated with this northern sector, but I think they're spreading themselves a little too thin. All Op4 has to do is to get a foothold and get to these buildings. They should be able to push. Last time it happened, they kind of got stuck in this military base, and then they were picked off by defenders that had these buildings taken. And that open area between the, the buildings and where the attacking faction was able to get to was just purely locked down. The only reason they lost a sector was because Op4 did a massive flank around outside of the map, made it to the top sector, broke in, and that made them fold off of here to go into that one area. But they still lost because they just recapitalized on all the open area. No special hydrate. I am not getting drunk. I'm too tired for that. I love that I've been seeing this bunker come up more and more, too. It's one of their custom compositions that we're now seeing in round after round of FNF, which it's nice to see stuff like that arise. Now, the 2 players I'm going to be watching, not like a hawk, but I will occasionally be checking up on, is Pierce. That threw me off, his chewing.
I'm doing Fiska.
So we're in the TFAR channel so we can listen to them because I don't have any co-host here. But he's got 2 suppressed shooters with him. And we're also going to be watching Drago and his group because I want to see what the snipers are able to pull here tonight. AA is on Green 4. They're the defending faction. Got a pretty big number with them. At least I think this is AA. Could be wrong. Just have to see what they pull. I think the 2 BTRs are going to be really, really helpful for Op4 to make their spearhead into this territory, but beyond that, not really. I could see the off-road running circles around them and taking them both out if they're used in open areas. I'd imagine that that off-road might also want to be immediately on the western side of this AO to immediately push in and start running circles around Op4 spawn, because that off-road is going to have one of two opportunities open for itself if it decides to make a rush play. Number one, it's going to find the two BTRs loaded with all the infantry trying to transport, or it's going to find a big blob of infantry trying to go on foot, either of which are a great target for that off-road to engage because it has the 100 round 50 cal on the back. And with its mobility, it can evade fire and fire from range just to saturate an area, which again, if you're trying to engage a big target like a BTR that's loaded with people, great target. If you're trying to engage a big blob of infantry, great target. It slows the infantry down, it will mess with Op4's number advantage, and give Green 4 an early head start into this mission. But this is one of the few scenarios that greatly favors the defenders just because of the size of this scenario. I would argue the same thing if there was some custom composition build up on Proving Grounds, for example. Which it's called Proving Grounds, I just call it Proving Grounds, but that one's a little more even though, because normally you don't see a massive build up like this. You don't have these massive perimeters here that can easily be capitalized on. But, you know, there's a will, there's a way. Now, if I was Op4, I would make a literal beeline on the BTRs to that military base, because that is going to be my in. From there, you know, we have some perimeters. We need to use one of the BTRs to knock over one of these walls, toss a bunch of smokes here and here, and then we can get our forces in. I would keep the marksman with the squad and just use it when we get a foothold, because you do not want to be caught in any of these open areas. You want to completely minimize the amount of time you go into these open areas. The only reason I want us to stop at the military base, though, is if Green 4 wants to put a proactive defense down, they are more than likely going to try to rush this position. So you want to rush getting to this wall, hitting it with your BTR to open it, pushing your forces in, have your BTRs lock down any units that might appear on those two, the mud huts, and then just smoke charge your way in, and then this is your foothold. And then from here, you have a lot of room, and you have a lot of fortifications of your own to then push into the objectives themselves. I would start with this one sector up here. What you got to do is smoke this area, or you can get behind Shapur 2, and you can then follow the buildings through and get right on top of this objective. I would say the only one you have to be worried about is the northern one at this point, because that has the next open area that's risky. This one is not too bad. You can just smoke this one spot and push through, get right on the edge and keep breaching. And because, again, it's a limited amount of players, you don't have to worry about putting so many guys on a narrow route, because you don't have that so many guys problem to deal with. Because if you have so many guys, that also means your opponent has so many guys, which means more eyes looking at different angles to engage your assault vector. So it should work out. But like I said earlier, probably while people were still tuning in, I would have just held Sector 3, capitalized on that open area, maybe had some harassing forces at Sector 2, but otherwise locked 3 down completely. 1 is just too much for the entire group to hold, plus with the encompassing hills and the 2 BTRs that could come up, it's too much of a risk in my opinion. But Green 4 needs to send that off-road early, and I think that's exactly what they're doing here. We're going to see Platoon drive it himself. Who is his gunner here? It's going to be G-Legs. All right, I can see G-Legs, the blind gunner. Is he still wearing his blindfold? Yes, he is. This is going to be a very good combo, and I think potentially show some oversight of the map mission development. Now, I do see that both of these BTRs are being loaded with infantry. I would think G-Legs is going to play the cautious route since he's already angled at about a 30-degree angle from left to top. So he might do something like this. In his shoes, though, I would just be ready to beeline this direction. Because, I mean, worst case worst, you get shot to death here, but at least you then know they're coming from this angle and you can bring forces over to then reinforce that side. So even in your death, you know where they're coming from. So it's worth that little bit of extra risk, because right now you're racing the clock to actually engage these guys. And they're going to potentially make that play. No, you don't want to put all your forces up here. It's open ground. And there's not a lot of cover up here, and you're fighting positions that have cover. Oh, that's one of the misplays a lot of people would make in this scenario. Because they see the hills and they think, oh, you know, that'll give me a good height advantage. But it's very open, and it just takes a sniper and some suppressed dudes to completely maim that scenario. And they have X-Ray going off as their own element as well. I think because of the lack of players, commanders really need to keep their forces together. But the reason FNF does that is because X-Ray usually is supposed to be its own element going out. So I'll be curious to see if this guy decides to open up. Gunner's not even... They're not even speaking right now. Did he miss him? BTRs are charging right in. Did no one have AT prepped on this angle? Chills is planting explosives, but... Okay, big misplay by the off-road. I think it's coming in now, but now the BTRs are... They were using it as a, I guess, a watch element in case there was an elaborate flank on the left? What? All right, so at least right here, you're going to start seeing a massive flank with these, with the sniper and the two suppress shooters. This is where they're going to be able to pull off a lot of work. And the shooting of the heavy guns. These three X-Ray players are in a really good position. Space Cowboy Carl's trying to turn around and potentially sight targets here. That off-road, though, needs to start engaging stuff that he can see. All right, he's going for the BTRs first. Not a bad call there. But that driver needs to get ready to pull away. So they need to reload a fresh box. Chill's now running down. Green Shade getting the kill there. And now we can hear him in the comms, so I gotta mute myself. So Op4 have only lost a handful of units. Looks like X-Ray is pulling back to reposition. And now you see the rest of Green 4 getting on Overwatch positions to try to flank. And this off-road is going to continue to try to do surgical strikes with any remaining forces. AT goes in, takes out one of the BTRs. And another BTR is swinging around to the north. It's got +3, which means it has 1 or 2 people it's going to dismount. They're going to snipe Sector 3, and they're going to snipe Sector 2 at this rate. Green 4 potentially realizing this mistake. They might have spotted the BTR on the horizon. They're already heading back to the other sector. As Op4 continues to push into this sector, that BTR doing its new cook-off animations from Ace. And this off-road now coming along a different angle, trying to snipe at who they can. Manages to get a kill, manages to take out the building. 2 kills. And takes a lot of return fire from 3 different angles, and they are immediately pulling back. G-Legs bending down to lower his target profile, so he has less area to be hit on by bullets. That's a pretty good call there, in my opinion. Op4 X-Ray close to Green 4 X-Ray. Op4 X-Ray has not noticed them, though. They are too busy looking on the right. As a surgical strike team, but I can understand why they did that. Meanwhile, the Vic immediately folding back because they have some eyes looking back at them, but it has done its job, taking out additional players here. And now it's going to be up to Green 4 here to hold this line. We have Bart and Phoenix being engaged from Platoon HQ and his 2IC up on this ridge. But let's see if Green 4 can keep the rest of these Op4 guys locked down. Meanwhile, Op4 has deployed over in the depot over here as the 50 cal Humvee is following them. A few stray shots all the way from the compound there. They're going to potentially find this other BTR. Yes, they do. But the BTR was waiting for them. So they're quickly trying to use their maneuverability, but the gunner is taken out. Driver now quickly, nope, the driver is dead too. Both of them were taken out because the BTR was looking at the right direction, possibly coordinating with the forces on the other attack front to state, hey, the off-road is coming in your direction, and now these two guys might be able to steal that vehicle if they stop shooting. So that has potentially given OpFor that asset if they choose to use it. Numbers-wise, it's looking a bit tough. Looks like Green 4 is able to turn around and start engaging OpFor X-Ray. We have some suppressed shooters going off here. Shame we can't see kill counts right now. That is still busted, unfortunately, with the new ACE update. Excuse me, ARM update. Otherwise, Snow Owl's trying to limp to cover here. As he is still engaged, gets hit 2 more times. For whatever reason in Armo, when you put a suppressor on your gun, it does less damage. Bacon Flavor coming around, picking off 2 OpFor members. Probably uses primary on this guy, secondary on that guy because he had to switch to his handgun. But otherwise, this OpFor attack is starting to slow down. Now you're starting to see more Green 4 than OpFor in this attack wave. Even if OpFor is able to overpower this this force, they got a big Green 4 force right here too. X-Ray, I think, was being sent around to just start whittling this down. But again, a costly rush has done a lot of damage on OpFor's morale as well as their number counts. They've definitely slowed down here. They're acting a lot more tactical, trying to thoroughly clear this compound. They've got forces in the sector. They just have to wipe the remaining Green 4 forces here. I don't know, Romulus. I have people that argue with me saying that suppressors don't lower muzzle velocity, but, you know, some say that it is. It's a toss-up. I just state what the game does and nothing else at this point. So you've got Poe trying to engage some Green 4 elements all the way out here. That's forced them to kind of fold back into the building here. And this X-Ray team has done a great job of harassing both flanks, scoring a few kills between them. Vagrant, meanwhile, he has gotten back into this BTR. Now that it stopped cooking off, he's using it as a command vehicle despite it being flamed out. Green 4 at Sector 1 are down to 4 players. They're still outnumbered. But OpFor's attack has definitely ceased for the time being as they try to reposition. Now you have a Dishka down on the other sector. It's being utilized by Norris, and he is pretty much saturating this area with fire, denying OpFor the ability to move by. We got Wiki here. He's trying to poke over the head to see if this is a good idea to get on this structure to then fire back. I would not recommend it. It's a little too open for my taste. See, if they want to be smart, they could come up here, and they could follow this route in, and then dismount right there. That might expose them, though, but that would at least give them an in. Bacon Flavor trying to lock down a corner here. Oh, I didn't even notice there was a third body right there. Great job by Bacon. Might catch Martin out of position, but no, he decides to move at the same time. Martin spots him. Bacon is dead. Martin got a few headshots with that PKP. Jib style, meanwhile, he's getting shot at by Sergeant Miller. I don't see any blood under here, so he wasn't hit. Not yet, at least. And now it's up to Spiky and Jib. And I think Norris put some shots on Jib, thinking he was enemy. AT was just heard. It was launched up here. For what reason, I don't know. They didn't commandeer that off-road. Possibly the engine was shot out, or it had a fuel leak, or they just opted not to take it. Miller, meanwhile, comes around, but I believe Jib was able to knock him unconscious. It is up to Spiky and Jib to take out as many players as they can here to weaken the attack further. We still have an OpFor player close by at Green 4 X-Ray. Vagrant trying to push in now. Spiky has a really good position up here. I would, if I were in her shoes, just stay up there. But look, you got 3 Green 4 guys died up here. They tried to make a perimeter here. And he's checking bodies. Jib now going out of the zone. Vagrant double tapping all those. Spiky doesn't react to those shots. And now you've got Wiki who's come up here. Both snipers are still alive, so there's still a good chance because sniping in this AO would be perfect. AT being fired up to that building. And Jib holding the corner. Prone on that wall. That's a really bad spot to be in because he can be flanked 6 ways to Sunday. Vagrant getting headshotted by Wiki. Otherwise, the attackers have rushed and taken 3 of those 2 guys that were dismounted. Oh, Wiki, you sly dog. You shot your commander. And Mobile X, who was up there, got taken out by Pierce in what is potentially a pistol battle because both of them had their handguns out. So Op4, okay, Vagrant wakes back up, immediately gets into cover because he doesn't know if what tapped him was a friendly or an enemy. Wiki back to looking at the remaining sector under heavy green 4 control. And yeah, as I predicted, Jib would be taken out here. We do see some blood, and it looks like he was taken out right there, unfortunately. Probably by Cosmonaut in green shade. So it's just up to Spiky to corner camp at this point. Wrong button, I do apologize. But Op4 doesn't know where Spiky is in this sector, so it might take them a hot second to do it. Meanwhile, they have to start their attack on the next sector back there. This could be a quick round, but I think we're going to see it get drawn out. Now, I could see Op4 X-Ray breaching this sector and doing a lot of damage. They've got a suppressed shooter. Is that also suppressed or no? So they've got 4 dudes with AK-74s. 1 is suppressed, but 2 have UGL, so they can do a lot of shock damage with that GP25 system on 2 of their weapons for some really nasty close-range HE, which would be really, really good in breaching and clearing buildings from range. So if they could get back behind the sector and take this building, for example, that would be their best call. We just heard a bullet whiz by. Now, it is important to note, though, we've got some pretty hardcore players here. We got Norris and Dooley. I don't see... Yep, there's Not Bay. Yep. Very, very good players. Looks like Drago was the sniper. He got shot or something because he's bleeding right now. Got a long-range HE shot. That was from a UGL that just landed. And these 4 guys were spotted trying to cross. Immediately, they're trying to fire at the swords, but with those loud guns, you're going to start seeing Green 4 turn around. Oh, these guys might be in trouble. They're doing their best to try to smoke their advance. Night Owl and Twins are caught out in the open, trying to suppress where those bullets are coming from. Owl is crippled. And they're desperately trying to fire UGLs out. Grenades are being thrown, but it looks like all 4 are going to make it. Twins now breaching that compound. Just checking back here. Spiky hasn't moved a muscle. And Op4 have 3 out of the 4 that are breached, and Fred is staying back to bandage. Not Bay's gonna start cleaning house. And here is the Not Bay house service. 3 people cleaned free of charge. When I mention people like Not Bay, this is what I'm talking about. 1 man can completely wipe an attack away. We still got Fred out there, but here's Not Bay loading a fresh PKP belt, ready to go. And there is one of Op4's most important lines of units now wiped. X-Ray's down to just Fred, who I believe just has a standard AK-74. Yep, he's pulling back. And then Drago, the sniper, he might be able to find an angle, but he's clearing with his pistol, which means he thinks he might run into forces at close range here. Meanwhile, Vagrant finds Spiky, and Spiky shows Vagrant where Spiky is. And now there's some fire going out up here as they get confused, but there goes Op4 ground command. More like housekeeping. House sweeping, man, that's the joke. Let me write down the timestamp of Vagrant's unfortunate demise. And let's keep the mission going, shall we? So Fred has pulled back here to bandage a little bit more. Drago could find a good sniper position from this building. Yeah, no, that's good. Might try to find an angle on Sholand. But he has to wait for him to kind of put himself out. Like there, right there. Ooh! Ho, ho, ho! Drago, my man. Shot in the back. That was a great keyhole. Spiky's still going to hold this corner. So that's going to deny Op4 the ability to capture that sector and send the rest of their forces until they find her. But we're starting to see some suppression from this sector come in. If Drago can take out a few more people from that building and find those keyholes, I think Drago will be in a good spot. But he's going to abandon this position. I don't agree with that. I think he should have used this window a little bit more, unless he was being suppressed. We do see Bay looking out in this angle. He might have heard something. But otherwise, we'll have to see. Drago's being a little too cautious as he goes through these open areas. I think he's going to be picked off when he's back here. Meanwhile, Fred has gone up here. He's prone now to try to give himself some defilade cover based off of the angle being that far back. But it could swing either way. Numbers looking a little lighter, but X-Ray for Green 4. They've been some really effective shock troops here. We could see that turn around. Like I said earlier, snipers are going to be really important for this scenario. Why is Pierce firing into his own sector? Meanwhile, we got Bert back here trying to find an angle on Fred. Just put a sniper bullet over his head. But Fred is still okay. He's staying low, and he might be fine for now. You know, I haven't really seen this BTR utilized that much. I've just been seeing it drive around on the north. At this rate, it needs to find a good angle to just start spraying that building down with 14.5 millimeter. I'd love to see Grease Shade, like Ace enhanced enhanced movement off of that, get there, and then find Spiky in the corner. That'd be so funny. Spiky doesn't have to be concerned about that BTR until the gun actually starts looking in her direction, but I think it's too busy looking at the angle here. Drago, that's not a good spot for you to be, buddy. It's really open. Fred receiving some more pot shots. They just need that 12.7 to tear into that building, in all honesty. Spiky with the corner, holding that sector down. I'm not going to be able to hear people because I muted myself, but yeah, no, I can imagine she can hear the people on yelling around her, so she's just laying low. But if you guys want to see it, just do !multi. Spiky's POV, like many others, are on the chat, the multi. Bay is stuck in there. Banks is going to try to get him out. Bay wakes back up from his nap. How he got in that position, I don't know. I think he armored himself. Explosive trap goes off. Spiky poking her head up as grenades start going off above her. I don't know where that HE round came from. See, I love how we had this static right here, but the Vic still came in. The static wasn't paying attention, or they just came at a perfect angle where it was in one of the static's blind spots. All right, Drago helping Fred bandage. Fred's been hit so many times, I doubt he's going to wake up if he gets shot again, to be perfectly honest, because neither of them are... Wait, no, Fred's a medic. Okay, never mind. Fred's fine. I mean, Spike already killed ground command. I mean, if it's a good corner, it's a good corner. They could use the BTR and scan the top of that building, but they've been too busy fighting the other sector to properly breach and clear everything. Shots going by as suppressive MG shots head up into this building. They are returning fire. Ooh, we got some Green 4 guys coming around on the rear here. I think they've been tracking these two. Pierce has gone to a magnified AK with a PSO sight instead. Blood gag Gopher. I think Martin knows something's up. Did Martin see something on that corner? Doesn't look like he's honing in on it. I think he looked up there and didn't see anything, went, oh, it's fine. Hold up. What's Martin doing? What the Martin doing? What the Martin doing? Yeah, they know something's up. They're firing GL up there. I think the gig is up for Spiky. Green Shade trying to open that door. It's a cereal box. Now he's trying to jump up there as he is shot at. And forced to go back downstairs. Oh, that's funny. Oh, meanwhile, X-Ray for Green 4 found Fred and Drago and eliminated both of them. Fred could still wake back up, but Drago, I believe, is deado. I don't see him. Yeah, the main way up here is covered by the other sector, and if someone tries to come up the ladder, she'll just blow her head off. Blow their head off, excuse me. I would say the best way to do it is to climb up here, then enhance movement to here by basically vaulting it. It will then make you fall. You spam the spacebar, they'll let you climb onto this, and then just peer that corner. They will never see that coming, because they never think about that until it actually happens to them. So they have a stolen Dishka, and now they're suppressing down this route. We still have plenty of time in this round, but it is favoring Green 4 more and more as Op4 get their numbers whittled down. I don't know if they have radio comms with Spiky. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Martin's climbing up the ladder. Martin doing the climb, and Spiky misses the shot. Spiky, push, push, push Spiky. Spiky. Get that BTR to back up, like all the way over there, then you'll be able to see Spiky. Ooh, they could climb up, get in this corner, and they'd be able to hit her. That's the play they're gonna have to make. They just have to climb up the stairwell. Up the stairwell. Little lag spike there. Nasty. I have no idea what just happened or why we're getting that lag spike, but okay. Rest in peace, my frames. Here we go, Poe. Poe is glitching out. Pull your gun left. You can't camp forever, kids. Unless it's a building with only one way up and no way to overwatch the top of that building, in which case you can camp forever. That's happened a few FNF rounds, but Pikey's number was up. There's Boar's body, and they have his T5000. We'll see what they do with it. All right, let's do a quick head count. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on Op 4. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 11-11. Am I missing any outliers? I don't think so. Did I count that guy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. Even numbers. But green 4 don't have to attack. They have to bait Op 4 to come in. And this is where things can get dangerous. We're going to see a lot of long-range shooting, because that's where it's going to fall on. Ooh! Ouch! They do have a medic, but... God damn it, Roar. Trying to shoot at Poe on the ladder. At this rate, I think a solo player going up to the enemy position and just trying to kill as much as he can might be Op 4's best call. We're going to have to see if Cindy's able to pull something like that off, but... There's just a lot here. You got Bert with a sniper. We just got 2 tapped. And then they have the other sniper, which Racket's stolen. Oddball's back up. Yeah, they're loading up in the BTR. This could still be clutched. Does anyone on green 4 still have AT? We got Eagle with an RPG, so yes. But he's the only one. I think a BTR rush is not a good idea, but I mean, the BTR rush is what got them here. Might as well have them end it there. Bert's still opting the bandage. Just as Cinny pushes up. Great luck by Cinny there. Here's Pierce. Pierce heard something. Pierce is concerned. Pierce starts looking down the stairs. Pierce then goes out here, checks the window, doesn't see anything, and listens for footsteps. Cinny hears footsteps. Cinny hears Pierce's footsteps. Pierce knows he heard something. Pierce frantically checks outside. Where did those footsteps come from, he ponders, as Cinny keeps eyes on that door, knowing that he heard something as well. All as the BTR does a massive push to the south and is going to try to advance on this one angle. Gunshots fill the air. They're sporadic and only one at a time. And we have Bert. Bert's a sniper. He's watching this angle. And he's still bandaging. Cinny then finds Pierce. Pierce is unfortunately executed. At the cost of Cinny's legs, which he quickly tries to bandage. Liru's Christmas Story. A Christmas Carol with Liru, featuring Friday Night Fights. Alright, in all seriousness, Op 4 repositioning those forces, suppressing from afar. Are they trying to shoot at Bird, or are they just shooting at weird stuff? I think Green Shade just had a shot go past him. Some smokes are being fired to obscure their vision. Not a bad call. I'm waiting to see if Bird's going to turn. Yep, he hears that BTR. And where there's a BTR, there's probably enemy infantry for Bird to shoot. Cinny is now corner camping. I need to get sweet voice actor. I don't think my voice would be something people are looking for. I'm just your everyday fat kid with a green robe on. I mean, there's nothing too special about that. Brothers Grimm Fairy Tales. Yeah, I know. I know. That's pretty damn dark. All right. Bert throws a smoke. Unfortunately, he didn't throw it too far up, and he just smoked his own position, which prompted Op 4 to immediately start shooting at it. Ah, all part of the plan, said Bert, as he now tries to crawl down the little thing of wood like a snake and hops off the rooftop, because that's how that works. Meanwhile, Banks and Cinny, I think, have found each other. Cinny is now looking for Banks. I think Cinny spotted Banks. He put some shots on Banks, but none of them hit, unfortunately. Banks is now aware of Cinny. A rocket goes by, hitting the building that most of Green 4 is in. It's not too effective, however. Meanwhile, Bird is now on the ground, looking for people to snipe. He thinks he's lined up a shot. But it's actually just an abandoned car. Another sniper shot goes out. That one, I believe, is by Racket, who's stolen Op 4's sniper rifle. And the remaining Op 4 forces are starting to put smoke out to join up with Cinny. We also have Green Shade coming in. Eagle is on his own. He's the remaining AT guy. He might be taken out, and then that BTR could be home free. Something comforting knowing I'm just like the rest of you. Yeah, we're all human, man. Nothing different about that. It's not like I'm a lizard, dude. Ah! Why would I be a lizard? Or a turtle. Definitely not a turtle. You know what? I'm actually 100% human. True story. Anyway. I think the static guns might be out of ammo, or the gunners are just dead. So that BTR, even though it's playing incredibly defensively, might still be able to get away with a few things. Exactly what a turtle would say? Well, you have no proof that I am a turtle. All right, Cindy's joined up with the rest of the infantry here. Green Shade is trying to stealth up with his gun on his back. That's pretty funny. Where did Bert go? He folded back into this building. All right, so Green 4 is now going to have to fight for their life for controlling this structure. How do you even get into this little bunker? I guess from, like, right there? That's a cool, cool spot. I'm just going to assume that BTR has none of its ammo left. Now, Bert's trying to hit Poe, but I think he's overranging the shots. Explosives go off, but they're ineffective. And that 12.7 starts tearing into this building. Exactly what he needed to be doing from the get-go. Thankfully, there are some sandbags here that they can use to block those bullets. And Eagle is going to get himself a vehicle kill. So as there's distracting fire up there, that's going to give Eagle an opportunity to take out that BTR. But the BTR is going quite fast. And Eagle gets a nice tail hit on it. That kills the engine. And McKee is jumping around in excitement as he is now in a building? Knocks Artisan to his feet. Artisan quickly rolls away. Second RPG misses. And one of those hits of his head. Ironically, Eagle missed the second shot when it was a static target, but when it was moving, he was able to hit it. Huh. All right, that's made the number advantage around the even mark again. Except Cosmonaut sniping, or was that Nazadar? It was Nazadar. He just shot some poor unfortunate sap on this tower. And let's do a quick number check again. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus... Oh, 9, excuse me, versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now it's leaning in Op4's favor. Because I doubt Zony's going to wake back up. Aussie Wookie running in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. I'm not sure if these are invincible. They are invincible, otherwise they would have taken damage. So, ouch. Aussie Wookie decides this building won't be invincible, and Bert's like, what was that mysterious beeping noise? Oh. Well, at least Bert's still alive. Wiki now runs up. Bert's gonna run out the back. He's covering the door. Wiki's not checking his corner. Except Bert forgot how angles work. Rest in peace, Bert. Rest in peace. What the heck was that? Remember, kids, when you're trying to kill someone with your gun, you have to aim the muzzle at the target. Because if you don't, you're not gonna hit him. He didn't hit Wiki at all. There's no blood right here. That blood right there is from that grenade that was thrown. So he didn't even hit him, period. I think he was over range with the I thought he had a PSO scope on. Someone else just nick his gun? No, Aussie just nicked his gun. And I think took the scope off. I could have sworn he had a PSO on it or something, but... Yeah, no, he missed all those shots point blank. He's like me when I try to RC a unit, run up to a guy that's medicing and not paying attention, I pull the trigger, but my bullet just completely misses his head because arm up angles and physics? I don't know. But that was an interesting one. It was definitely an interesting one. This is round 2. I missed round 1 because I was eating dinner. So we're going to cover round 2 and round 3 tonight. Yeah, Don, we have a... You know, I'm glad you asked, Don. We actually have a command on this channel that lets you know what's going on. It's called !mission. Now you know about it, so why don't you type it in the chat now? And it tells you it's round 2. I love you, Don. I'm sorry. Yeah, good to know, right? Bloodwing paddles me? I'd love her to paddle me tonight. What just happened? All right, so Op4 is breaching this area. They saw McKee here, put some shots down at him. They just need to be throwing grenades all over this damn thing, to be honest. It's just !mission by itself. You're gonna DM her on Discord with that? All right, feel free. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing will change. Ah, Romulus. I see you also have a bit of smart assius too. Excellent. There goes Cinny, because McKee... I don't have a witty joke there. I don't know. It's a lot of camping today. A sip emote? I'll see what I can do. That was on Green Shade. And Cosma decides he's had enough with letting McKee live and decides to execute him. There's two dudes camping this. They're waiting for the smoke to stop billowing out because it's obscuring everyone's vision and buying green for time. Now, I don't think they have enough smoke grenades to last 9 minutes, but hey, they can try. As more Op 4 reinforcements come in, it is 5 versus 7. Still could go anyone's game. I do appreciate tonight, though, how close all of the matches have been. Another close mission. Ah! And Wiki gets leaked, unfortunately, by, who is this, Chad? Nielsen. It happens. Green Shade trying to vault in here. Bald Eagle, meanwhile, can't see because of the smoke. Poe trying to look past the smoke. I can't tell you what's going on. Bald Eagle, I think, clipped his shots in the wall. Green Shade pushes in. And it wasn't a red menace that plucked the Bald Eagle. It was a green menace instead. Cosmonaut, meanwhile, breaching dually as both of them trade. Or it might have been Cosmonaut getting killed by Dooley and then promptly fisting Dooley. Ooh. He needs to double tap Dooley, though. And as I say that, come on, Fist. Fist him! Fist him! Oh, no. And, well, Fist has been fisted instead. I've never screamed at a player to fist another player yet. That's a new one. Okay. Well, I'm going to write that timestamp down, and I'll let the internet judge me. Dooley now going ham, trying to kill Natters, but is unable to land a killing blow. And Natters is questioning what even happened. Fist has learned that it is quicker to pull out your handgun to execute someone rather than reload. The Green Shade finds out that a grenade is enough to knock out Nielsen. Is it enough to execute him? No, instead he deflects all of T4's bullets and uses a handgun to kill T4 Herb. Nielsen's woken back up. He's dead, Jim. He's dead. You can stop that now. But Nielsen gets his revenge. Okay, well, wasn't expecting that. I'm gonna try to see if I can get some cool lightsaber effects added to that clip. But, okay. Use the Force, deflect all the bullets. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Naders, I think, tried to shoot someone? I don't know, it's hard to tell. Norris is still alive. It is 3v2 now. Op 4 seem to have lost the advantage. And Cine, I thought he died earlier. I guess he woke back up, but oh, he's dead, Jim. Definitely dead that time. All right, and now it's just up to Naders here. He does have a PKP, but Dooley has a PKM. And somehow gets a hit. Sir, he was behind a wall. I claim hacks. But Dooley, being the smart little cookie he is, ends the match. He doesn't kill him, though, so he might still wake back up, but I'm pretty sure that's GG. I don't see any more Op 4 on the horizon. It's a nice tug of war there, and Green 4 have eventually come out on top, which I did say would more than likely happen in this scenario because of how the AO was built. So anyway, that was round 2. We'll get into round 3 later. I'm not sure when this will be officially called, but hey, feel free to stick around. If you bet Green 4, I hope you enjoy your points. There it is, won by elimination. All right. Round 3, and then I'm thinking after this I might do a little bit of mission development. So, Nader's still not waking up yet, and there it is, called and fresh. I do like how all the rounds have been tonight. They've all been very, very close. They've gone to the bottom right where it says mission time remaining, and it's always come down to a player count that you can count on your hands, which is pretty nice. So, good. Now, I'm thinking when we're done with FNF, I might do some mission development, and we'll see how things go. Otherwise, what we are going to do, guys, is we are going to... let's see. First I got to do is remind you all, hey, if you subscribe, you don't have to go through the painful intermissions. What do I mean by painful intermissions? Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a painful intermission. Now, if you don't see the commercials yet, it means you are subscribed. Thank you so much for your loyal patronage, and I appreciate it. Now, we are going to go to the map command here. We're going to switch this out to Gulf Coast. And I accidentally capitalized like all of those letters because I'm an idiot. All right. Also, it's not ghost, it's coast. All right, so there we go. Spam that. This is, I'm going to write the last round of the night. And what do we have here? Okay, so it's a neutral sector, green 4 versus op 4. Each side has 2 BTRs. Okay. 3 neutral sector objective where either side has 2 BTRs. Okay. Easy on the right up there. What I am next going to do is go towards the multi. And we're going to prune whoever has stopped streaming. So let's see. What do we got? Or whoever's not on FNF right now. Because I've had people, you know, start doing something else on their stream. Finn and Firefighter are offline. All right, cool. Let me adjust that. And then we'll do some more late night story time.
What a unicorn off an end game for that second round. Won't be here for long though.
Alright, that should be all of our commands ready to go. Chills, thanks so much for the 10-month resub. That was a pretty crazy round, man. Hope you had fun. I saw you on the AA side, which I think you were green for, if I recall correctly. But hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Excuse me. Whew. I mean, it's going to be a 25v25, so... let's let them set up. Oh yeah, we're playing Red Alert too. It's fun. Gonna mute myself as well. And continue to be the man in the high castle here, just watching everyone below me. And you see Chills as the first one to slot on Op 4. And we'll see how things go. Yes, I am Gamma. I just wanted to have dinner and then cover the NA branch. Ay, ay, ay. So hopefully this one will be a quickie, but seeing as how all the other rounds have gone on tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if this one lasts a good amount of time. It was fun talking about crap experiences in school. Yeah, that was yesterday's dev stream. I went a little off my rocker there, but ay, ay, ay. I forget the stories I told last night, too, because when I get really tired, I usually don't have a memory. But yeah, no, the Snowmageddon story where I just ran around because I get cold, I get hot very easily, so. You're supposed to go to college to have wild, crazy, fun stories. You might as well Patman, do you have an original copy of Homeworld 1? Because here's the thing. I know that Coalition, you have a Homeworld group. And I would love to play some people in Homeworld 1, alright? I haven't had a good salvage Corvette smash in a long while, and I want to get back to it. I haven't sabotaged someone's mothership production of capital ships with a scuttle in a long while, and I want to get back into that. I want to bring out my dick moves. I want to ram probes into people's production lines, scuttle them at the right moment, and blow up their entire interceptor line. I want to do that. It's been so long. And I'm so out of practice, and I gotta get those skills back, baby. Back in the day, there were people that would refuse to play me because I used all of those dirty tactics. Good old Homeworld. Homeworld 3 is coming out in a few years. Can't wait. I'm just a little worried about it, like all modern games that are feeding on your nostalgia. But hey, we'll see. But if it's Homeworld 2-esque, I'm gonna be really pissed off. See, Remastered is Homeworld 2 with a fresh coat of paint and Homeworld 1 factions. It's not Homeworld 1, though. That's what kind of pissed me off about Remastered. I was really hoping for, like, a true Homeworld 1 experience. Because it's more robust, rustic. And it can get quite fun. Faithful remasters are hard to come by. I mean, it was for Homeworld 2. It was a pure, honest, faithful remaster. But I was hoping we'd get that for Homeworld 1 as well. But unfortunately, it was all for naught. That's okay. Round will be started soon. It's going to be 23 to 25. Oof. But we still have two guys there, so we can see 25 v 25. That should be nice. I know the Remastered has classics for Homeworld 1 and Homeworld 2, but you can't... They don't have an option for you to go to Homeworld 1 and set up a LAN server or set up a multiplayer server. Otherwise, I would be buying people Homeworld Remastered up the wazoo just so I can practice and spar with them on Homeworld 1. Thankfully, you can buy Homeworld Emergence, which is just Homeworld Cataclysm with a fresh coat of paint. Not even a fresh coat of paint, just a name change because for whatever reason Blizzard was allowed to copyright the word Cataclysm because of one of their expansions that came out years later. But I'm able to spar with people through Game Ranger on that. That's a fun one. Because Homeworld Cataclysm / Emergence was supposed to be the expansion off of 1 before it became its own game. That one's nice. But you have to do some really... That one has a lot of weird exotic tactics that you have to play because it's not really a linear game by any means. You have to come up with some really spooky strategies to win in that one. I have never touched Deserts of Karak. I'm not interested in 2D style RTSs at all. Though I do like touching Supreme Commander Forged Alliances with some friends here and there. That's pretty fun to fight the cheating AI. That's always a blast. Yeah, that's why I love Homeworld so much, is because of that 3D aspect. Forged Alliances forever. Now it's 24 to 27. They need a green 4 guy to go to op 4 or something. Alright, I'm gonna get my fan on real quick. Because I've been doing a lot of editing work today. And the thing about my computer is when I do really CPU-intensive processes like video processing, or just massive binges of Arma 3, like CCOs, for example, the 6-hour PvP ops. This basement gets very hot. So I require a little bit of cooling down. Oh, yeah, no, Yasuhiro, when I moved, I dusted my PC, and holy crap, I didn't dust it in a year, and usually I do it every, like, 6 months. I wanted to say 4 to 6, but in all honesty, I do it every 6 months, give or take, and whew, that was crazy, but let's see. July, August, September, October, November, December. So, New Year. I have to I'll dust it again. I do it every 6 months because I've got, honestly, the way of how I have airflow done in here, there's a dust screen that I have that I clean monthly that gets rid of most of it. But yeah, no, yes, I do that. But I take care of the screens a lot more often because that's what gets like 90% of the dust, in all honesty. And then the rest is I do it every 6 months because it doesn't really get that dusty. As long as you properly maintain the screen, then you're fine. But you still have to dust it at least once a year at that point. I prefer 6 months though, but yeah. Now, I will also say this PC is a water-cooled one as well, which I'm never doing again because I've had a few issues with it. I'm just going to do a pure airflow frame next time. But that one I am going to dust a lot more often when I build it in a year or two because that's when you... If it's purely airflow, then yeah, that needs to be taken care of. Walled in fun. Oh no. No, they took the bottom left island of Gulf Coast. Oh no. Water, you want Don? I'm gonna kill you. Alright, that's enough. That's enough. God damn it. The military island of Gulf Coast. It's basically just a giant airfield that's on a heavily walled-off strip of land, and they're going to be fighting on the internal perimeter with some thick jungles and hills on the outskirts, and then militarized buildings in the center. Sorry for the silence. I'm just anticipating them actually going through there. Fuck me. As soon as I open my mouth, right? All right. Really simple stuff. Op 4 here have some transport Humvees. And there are the two BTRs. And we have them as the standard vanilla, quote-unquote, for FNF, which is EMR Russians from RHS. So 545s, PKMs, PKPs, RPG-32s, RPG-26s for the single-shot disposable AT, though I imagine it's just going to be reloadable AT. Nope, I lied. There is one piece of AT right there on Spiky. Numbers-wise, it is Maz Commanding, Vagrant, G-Legs being Alpha HQ. No one decided to take X-Ray on Op 4, interestingly enough. Alpha is Jib Style, Olaf, George, basically the Arma Anonymous community AA. And then we've got Green Shade and Bacon taking Alpha 2. Dreek leading his guys under Bravo, Cosmonaut, Warwick, Wiki, Martin, Brennan, and then Mito, Oddball, Lurch, Rafter, and Aussie Wookie under that group for Op 4. Meanwhile, going over on Green 4 side, they spawn in the cave. The tunnel to the area you got there. It's two BTRs right here.
I like it. Let's do it.
And they're basically AAF camo with VZ Croatian 5.56 rifles. The VSH is ugly.
The stopgap force is going to be the two BTRs with two crew members.
Pierce is commanding Patriots under him. They're already exploring their area. Bart from the 101st commanding X-Ray with members of 1RW, taking an X-Ray group for that sniper rifle. Alpha having Nielsen and members of the 29th ID, with Norris as an AT specialist, though he only has a single shot disposable. And then Bravo being led by Schnuffles, but we got Not Bay and Dooley taking Charlie as well under Charlie 1, and Night Owl leading a small group of people under Delta. So Op 4 is basically 2 large squads with command, and Bravo is just a bunch of smaller elements. Could go either way, ladies and gentlemen.
The entire left-hand, the entire southeastern side, then we can take 2 objectives and they can only take 1.
Send in goat team.
That's exactly what it is.
Who's the
There,
BTR?
Dingo. And Matthew, thank you for extending your sub through December. That is next month. Nice. Basically 2 resubs. I appreciate it, Matthew. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario.
Night Owl, if you could take...
I would prefer an F2000 over a frickin' VHS. Just, ugh. Or VHZ, whatever the heck it's called. Ugh. Ugh. Otherwise, this is the militarized island here. You got the perimeters out here. There's got this rock wall perimeter on the interior, the hills, the jungle, then just a bunch of military build up over here with a massive kill zone of the runway in between.
I give you all 2 rockets.
I'm a heavy boy.
It's in the top right of the map. Like, thank you. That's all I wanted to fucking know.
Yeah, he definitely ditched it
you're a bit
on his
fucking
way up there.
special
He did
sometimes,
make himself
no?
less conspicuous. I got a photo of it
Well, I
actually.
just
I'll
wanted to
post it up on the media channel when this is all said and done.
It was because I saw
So I guess Op 4 has already done their plan. Green 4, I think, is still planning.
We're having secure Alpha. Once we've done that, we're gonna fuck them up. Any questions? BTRs will move to Hill 3-4 and then Overwatch from there.
Send in goat team 6.
I don't think he's realized that that's literally, like,
Hi.
mountain.
Good question.
Yeah, 3-4 is, it's a mount chief. And it's not going to have any lines of sight down from these Overwatch positions because of what's up there. Gregory, thanks for the 9-month resub. Hi to you back, buddy. Thank you so much for all of your continued support. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. And Durdingo, you're fine. A 770 will run Arma fine. I used to have a 770 running it. It was okay. Now, let's see. I'm looking for these areas here. So this means that a little bit of custom additions have been made. So this is meant to represent like an abandoned military position just to add some space to that area. And then here it looks like they just made some Huron containers in here, the engineering and fuel one, just to add something in the back of this. I guess to make that sector more interesting other than an open hangar. Bravo itself, though, is just a hollow dome. And then Charlie is just this area. I think whoever utilizes their BTRs to lock down this entire open area better are going to win. Green 4 does have a sniper, which is great, but I don't know. And there's also these side routes that either side can utilize to get to the other person's side. And then 2 side entrances from these side routes as well. One is right there, and the other one is right here. Green 4, however, are going to get the main entryway in. Which is this underground complex that can help lead you up to this one position, which, honestly, this would be a great place to put the sniper, because that gives you access to these high-rise areas, and then you can use enhanced movement to climb around here. Whereas Op 4 doesn't get that luxury. So if you had a little bit of map knowledge, you could do that, get a sniper down, and really overwatch some of those positions. But otherwise, I do not know what other tricks can be utilized here. We're just probably going to see a slog here. But Gregory, happy birthday, my man. Hope it is one of many, many more to come. I'm gonna be honest, vehicle rushing would also be pretty advantageous. The only issue... Oh, no, they opened up the gate right here, so they could do vehicle rushing as well, but... The Humvees are a little more chunky than the off-roads. If you bump an off-road into something, you can do heavy damage to it, but one of the Humvees would be able to tank a bit more. But I could see Op4 just, like, blindly charging in onto Alpha. But then Green 4 can blindly charge into Charlie and Bravo. Tough calls, but I think this is a rusher's dream, in my opinion. Otherwise, there isn't really much else. It's a big AO, mind you, so like a 25v25 is a little on the lighter side. In this one, I would just focus on taking your 2 sectors and holding them internally. Nothing doing any wide flanks or whatnot, just have proper 360 security and react to any threats. We're only halfway through the damn time. I always forget. I have this bookmarked at least 10 different areas in a giant document I have, but have an op that goes around dudes with RPGs and off-roads taking out tanks. Yes, I see. This vehicle is neighing. It's doing what the horse does to show off, you know, lifting its 2 front feet. Yep. Yep, of course. He's yelling at these guys to go to Charlie instead of Alpha. I'd love to see some rush plays, though. I mean, this is a really good rush map. Both sides can directly go to their objectives. Alright, but otherwise, I think after this mission file, we're going to focus on building and finalizing the Monday file. And then I'll probably just head to bed, to be perfectly honest. And raising money for exploding emus, because who doesn't want a good exploding emu? Yeah, they already have Patriot up here ready to go. He's gonna be the 2IC. Nice, he's complimenting on the map. He'll be able to get around this obstacle. This one he'll have to scale a little bit. I don't think he'll be able to actually get around this one based off of the rock size and shape. So we'll see. Prototype, no, we got this round, and then I'm going to do some mission development and hopefully finish something. We'll see. Because I think for that mission, I just have to do the kit building and the asset deployment. Can I show you an example of the exploding emu? Unfortunately, I cannot. It has to be developed first. Because the money is for the development. just got a computer that runs Arma. Any tips for a new player? Matthew, I would recommend you, first and foremost, go through the tutorial, get yourself familiar with all the buttons, because Arma has a lot of buttons. Then, I would recommend you find a server like Ahoy World or 77th JSOC, anywhere that does a game mode called Invade and Annex, or Liberation is another good one. Basically, that'll help you kind of get the style of how to play down yada-da with or without mods. I'd also get yourself oriented with Ace, because almost every community out there utilizes it, or start playing through a little bit of the campaign, but it's going to be a toughie if you do that one. I'd recommend a public server instead that focuses on PvE. And then, if you still are interested in the game, find a unit. There's Reddit Find a Unit. You can join your favorite Twitch streamer, Arma 3 YouTuber, yada-da, as long as you meet all of the community's requirements. Some communities are a lot tougher to get into from others. Some require that you've played the game for a while. Some are completely open. Some only have age requirements. I've seen a lot of crazy communities out there, but I would recommend Reddit for Reddit Find a Unit. You'd be able to find some people out there just to play with and chill with. And, you know, just that's when the search begins. Arma is one of those games where you gotta spend the time to get the time out of it, and that initial investment is what will make or break it for you. But if you are able to invest the time properly, no other game, in my opinion, will give back what Arma can. The only things that come close are other sandbox games like Garry's Mod or Minecraft, anything like that.
Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we?
Oh yeah, and then there's plenty of milsims and whatnot where you have to do all those weird, funny little trainings. I make fun of them, but I used to be a part of that process in a Star Sim. I got stories about that too. Ay. Exploding Emu. We did it in A2 for players with Create Vehicle, BO, GBU12, ADAC, yep. Basically a scripted function of if you kill something, then it spawns something that goes boom. Which is how Terminal Rush works in FNF. After you hack the terminal, it spawns a GBU after a soundbite finishes of a beeping slowly getting faster and faster. Oh, yeah, no. From the 506's training regimen, when someone was breathing in their mic, Brewer was the instructor, and he yelled, "Can someone tell Darth fucking Vader?" Someone get Darth Vader sorted, please. God. I've seen Brewer. He occasionally streams nowadays. I try to drop in. He's a good guy. War Games Incorporated. So, Wargame_Inc. Great guy. He beat cancer. Good for him. There's some groups that make you, okay, yeah. You will never, ever have to, if you find a group that tries to make you pay money, don't. There's so many other groups out there where you can get the same exact experiences. And most of the time, the paid groups are just a scam overall. Granted, there are some groups out there that have the resources, which I could see justifies the payment, but you're literally just paying someone to, you know, like do map design or whatnot. It's not going to be a guarantee. But anyway, round has begun, and we'll see how things go. Green 4 already flanking around. Not Bay turning up on the right. Mobile X might be in a bit of trouble here. Oh, God. They missed an RPG shot. There goes Mobile X getting picked off. But now Dooley's going to run down and start shooting people. Ninja, thanks for the resub. Hope you enjoying the operation. So get a nice kick out of this. But not Bay, knocked unconscious as a Vanguard force deploys on the rear and knocks out Bay. Dooley, Chow still awake. Got a little bit of blue on blue here on the Op 4 force already. Green 4 have lost a small chunk of their forces. Not a good start for Green 4. Not Bay failing his wake-up check. He is going to be down for the count, but Dooley wakes back up. Mass putting some more shots down range. They got a PID those friendly forces there, but this means Green 4 might be able to take all of the sectors, and that means this tunnel is going to be a nasty firefight. Who was that up there? Chow has been chowed down, and now it is Dooley Dooley is now deady. Okay, well, good luck. Otherwise, that is a small chunk of Green Force force down. Op4 not taking a single casualty, though they might as they keep red on redding their own forces here. Fun fact, if you open your map in FNF, you can see where all of your friendlies are, and you can even see if they're unconscious or not. So please check your maps when you play PvP games like FNF. Thank you. Now, Charlie has been captured by Green 4. Points will start being awarded after 5 minutes. Pierce, the ground commander, is now dead. Green 4 have lost their commander now because Op 4 is starting to breach in from this one corner. You can hear the BTRs firing from all the way out here. That is 14.5mm going to this BTR. G-Legs is returning in kind. He is, I think, solo crewing that BTR. Yep. Now it's just a matter of who can hit the other's soft spot first. This BTR is filled with infantry, though. And the other BTR still trying to suppress. Oh, that's going to leave that BTR exposed. And it immediately starts getting fired on. We just saw some blood splatters there. And this BTR is getting stuck. And I believe Zoni... No, Zoni was out here. He got picked off as well by this Op 4 push. So, already... Green 4 is down to a little over 80% of their remaining forces. This was about a 25v25, and we have 4 skulls with 1 bleeding out. That's not going to wake back up, so I am counting that as a death as well.
Hello?
And since people are dead, I have to mute myself. And someone in that BTR was just sniped. That was Nielsen. He was the gunner on that BTR, and now that BTR is a sitting duck. So G-Legs racking up some kills here. Got the other BTR that's coming around. It is engaging the other Green 4 BTR and causing some damage as Night Owl tries to displace. Quickly tries to get behind it. And this other BTR is being engaged. And I think it was Herb. Herb is now unconscious in that BTR. I am surprised Op 4 have not lost a single shooter, but I stand corrected as Jib and McGee both fall into each other's arms. McGee is, I see. He wakes back up from his, I'm gonna, and he is subsequently eliminated by Op 4 in revenge. His chiropractor, that's it. Thanos snapped in half, yeah, literally. Norris, meanwhile, camping up here. Taking some accurate fire as he quickly tries to displace. So Op 4 have lost Jorts and Green Shade as well. Mito and Lurch, a lot of Op 4 just went down. But they're still having that slight numbers advantage, but thanks to people like Norris and Bravo over here for Green 4, they're able to get that suppressed. Bren trying to push Norris to no avail as he's suppressed by friendlies, but now he might be able to make that angle. Look, look, look. And Norris shows him who's boss. Again, that's why I always like to watch players like Norris, because they, in a one-on-one, can turn a disadvantaged situation into a victory still. Green 4 just tried to rush, and they got smoked instead. Now, Green 4 can still turn it around because they have 2 sectors under control. Points haven't been counted yet. And we got a strike team about to snipe Alpha, but we got a pincer going around on this one sector. But if this Green 4 force can take out more of Op 4 down here and then turn around and deal damage to the other flank, we could see them come back around. Meanwhile, AT fired by Banks. That was an RPG cooking off that BTR. It won't explode, unlikely to at the very least. But that is platoon command for Op 4 down. Another RPG goes in. And they are now down one of their BTRs. Meanwhile, I think Green 4 have lost both of theirs. Now we have a little bit of a stall. Still have is Herb. Yep, he's still unconscious. He's probably not going to wake back up. But Op4, their skull count's starting to increase. We just had an RPG fired at G-Legs. He is now returning fire onto that building. As Artisan goes prone, he's got to be careful because that 14.5mm can penetrate that building. And still hit him with deadly results. But Op4 is kind of holding fast here. This attack wave kind of stalled, and this one also stalling here, possibly because they're waiting for this one to get into position on that one sector. Points have started being calculated. But Alpha's about to go green in a minute or two. Cine winning a one-on-one with, I think, was... Vargren. All right, so Alpha HQ was taken out. Hiccups, yay. And this attack is just stalled out completely. I don't know what Bravo's trying to do. They need to cross. I think they're looking for a way to get down here. Drake is finally just running for it. But we need to see Op4 get a move on here. G-Legs popping his smokes as Kiri is now starting to breach in the sector. He's going to check that BTR and start assaulting Bravo on his own. Did Oddball just get... No. No. All right, so Bravo's starting to fold in, but now the numbers are looking a little even here. In terms of who's remaining, we need to see Op4 start getting the upper hand again, as Alpha has now been knocked off Op4, and Green 4 is going to be able to maintain the point lead. Norris, yeah, that's who's been doing this on a one-man guerrilla war. RPG just fired. G-Legs trying to get away. He's going to join Kiri in breaching. I think that was Artisan that got that hit. Yep, his RPG's gone. He backblasted himself. G-Legs shot in the back as he's pushed up, or maybe it was Night Owl that got him as he was pulling around. Got some suppression going out here. Not sure if that was on Norris or what. He's popping a smoke grenade, and he is trying to clean up what remains. Little concern for Green 4, though, because we got Bravo coming in on the north, Fort Shardley here, but look at this massive point advantage that Green 4 is going to start collecting. You can actually see his head sticking out right there. Radios are going to give him away. Twins pieing over that double wall. Did he see Kiri? I doubt it. He's too low. Norris now coming around, continuing his one-man guerrilla war. Might spot Naders there. Starts opening up on him. Norris gets hit. Does Olaf fold back? Yep, he's looking back. He's got a PKM. Both sides putting a lot of lead on each other. Nader throws a grenade, but Olaf is able to find an angle. They're going to have to go up and double tap him just to make sure. Warwick is down. Failed a wake-up check. And now Charlie's being wrestled out of Green 4 control. Kiri, meanwhile, has breached this area. Twins is looking around. Kiri doesn't see Twins behind him. Oh, he might see him now. Take the shot. There it is. Trying to remember what the tracer button is, because I'm trying to determine if my tracers are broken or if it just got screwed up. All right, so Kiri running that one-man tug-of-war up there. Eagles up here on the second story camping. Norris woke back up. So he's behind a tree bandaging. They didn't confirm the kill. Always confirm your kills in FNF. And you got Sholin back here also running up on the hill, performing his own little bit of guerrilla war. Curie, meanwhile, getting the drop on that dude, but unfortunately goes unconscious in the process. Explosives going off on the building. And Dreek almost killing Fist. That killed one of the Op4 players in here, because there's only 2 left. There were 3 earlier. First to 100. And Bravo has now been wrestled off that sector because Curie's unconscious within it. So that's going to make Greenford's ability to win by a point a lot more difficult. Norris was taken out, and it looks like Sholin, nope, he is coming off of that hill now. Numbers-wise, Curie waking back up. So 1, 2, 3, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 versus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 9, 10, 11, 12. It is in Greenford's ballpark. They have the point advantage, and they have the number advantage. Curie's not going to be able to take this sector by himself. We timed it one time. It takes 20 minutes for you by yourself on a sector to take it. And that's if no enemies are in the sector as well. Because it happened one round. Ground Command went to a sector by himself, and he had to wait there for 20 minutes before it was taken. It's pretty funny. Eagle's breaching. He finds Dreek. Does a double tap. Okay, the fact that he was able to turn his head and still hit Eagle. And then he's able to instantly down. What is that bullshit? Can you explain that one to me? Because I don't understand it. Actually, I can. That's why those VZH rifles from Croatia are such shit. That's why I don't like them. Oh, my God. Whatever. I hate that gun. Arma logic, yeah, right? It's like the stats you see on Call of Duty guns. Yes, this gun is shit because it's a shit. That's all you have to know about it. All right, looks like Curie was taken out. Bravo's going to get back under control in a second. Yeah, silly caliber plus speed differences. Sure. Sure. And now we're going to see it die down a little bit, but Greenforce still has 3 players against Fist and Martin, so a 3v2. They could turn this around and take this sector again. We might see a win via points. Because these 3 guys, actually it's 4 of them, they're out of position. They probably should head down to Alpha to take it. But now we need to see a play made. And I think Sholin is our guy. He's looting this body. I would pick up an enemy gun at this rate. Confuse that enemy weapon PID. Then again, the numbers might be so sparse that they'll just react to any gunfire. And you got Artisan now folding in. Going down behind the down tree there. That's a good call. AI won't see it, but players will see it. In the sense that they'll see a down tree. Oh, Artisan breaching Martin. And gets the drop on Martin. And then he is subsequently put on his ass in a backdrop by Fist. Fist really needs to stop doing that to people. It's very graphic and it's not Twitch appropriate. But now it's a 2v1. Fist firing out, making sure he has double tapped that player. And you got these 4 now heading down to Alpha to keep it clear. Charlie now under neutral control. I think because for a brief second as Martin died, the Op4 player remaining, excuse me, the Green 4 player remaining was there on the sector alone, was able to wrestle control of it. Sholin, I think, knows there's something up there. He just doesn't want to push it on his own. Cine, meanwhile, I think you just saw movement on that corner, but wasn't able to PID it properly. If he or she were to open his map, he would be able to verify, but till then. What are these 4 doing? They're on the construction building just chilling. Might get shot in the side of the head here. But let's see, 16 every 20 seconds. That's 8. 8 times 20 is 160. Put that in seconds. This round will be over in 3 minutes if Op4 doesn't capture something. But I think even then, Sholin, I think, just killed Fist. Yep, so he'll be able to go in that sector, Cine will join him. Banks will get up there. And Banks was just shot by Cine. Cool. Okay. Wouldn't be Friday Night Fights without a little bit of friendly fire. Friendly night fights. Now, 4 times 20, 2 minutes. This will be over in 2 minutes. There to capture Charlie early, then it would be fine, but nope, it's GG. Hate that. Yep, I hate it too, don't you worry. So if you bet green for, congratulations, you've pretty much won. Olaf failing to kill anyone there in that little ambush. He's gonna pull back, but a grenadier round goes in, gets a kill, gets a knockout. I think that was, nope, that is, who is that firing? I don't know. Was that you? No, you're a sniper. I don't know. 20 seconds remain. And there it is. Green 4 win by just attacking the objectives themselves. So even though Green 4 was on the back foot for a lot of that match, the fact that they went into the sector and actually captured things instead of going off on the flanks like what Op4 did, I think is what still won it for him at the end of the day. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching for this round. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your night. Cheers. Have a good one. That's just for the outro, guys. Don't worry about it. We're still going to do some mission development tonight. I'm going to jump downstairs to have a listen.
The last 2 weeks of November. You will need that for that last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks of November. Next week is regular FNF.
Oh, God's idea.
Copy that.
Right.
Be awesome.
On RW up to station room 1. Let's go chill.
Hey, Nato, before you go.
Okay, quick poll before anyone leaves too much. How was that last round? I know it was quick and